Gather Witches for Philosophy Sunday. Because while the Christians are in church learning to misunderstand us, we will spend some time learning to understand ourselves. I'm sure you felt the heaviness lately, the heaviness in the air, and it is not just the season, it is not Samhain, it is the world. That heaviness deeply affects witches. And today's message comes from the Irish poet and playwright Oscar Wilde. In his play Lady Windermere's Fan, one of the characters says we are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. That line suggests that all of us are flawed, but some look for the beauty in things. Now, Oscar Wilde wrote that before he was sentenced to prison in Reading Gaol. It was before Oscar Wilde truly understood evil and darkness and the shadow. After his time in prison, his tone had changed. And in this poem, The Ballad of Reading Gaol, you can see the fusion of the stars and the gutter. Yet each man kills the thing he loves. By each let this be heard. Some do it with a bitter look, some with a flattering word. The coward does it with a kiss, the brave man with a sword. Some kill their love when they are young, and some when they are old. Some strangle with the hands of lust, some with the hands of gold. The kindest use a knife, because the dead so soon grow cold. Some love too little, some too long, some sell and others buy. Some do the deed with many tears, and some without a sigh. For each man kills the thing he loves, yet each man does not die. Later on in the poem, he says, Alas, it is a fearful thing to feel another's guilt, for right within the sword of sin pierced to its poisoned hilt. And as a molten lead were the tears we shed, for the blood we had not spilt. What he's saying, and what he said before, was that beauty was the escape from the gutter. After his time in prison, he realized there's no division between the beauty and the gutter, the saints and the sinners. All destroy the things we love in various ways. We are all capable of bad things, but at the end, love remains the thing worth enduring for. And the reason for witches things feel so heavy now is because we are attuned to both this beauty and the shadow of the gutter. Paradox of empathy. It is the paradox of love, the source of our greatest joys and our greatest sorrow. Another line later on in the poem, and after prison, Oscar Wilde was very vocal about the treatment of people in the prison, particularly children. And I feel like this is very relevant, especially today, November 2nd. For they starve the little frightened child till it weeps both night and day, and they scourge the weak and flog the fool, and gibe the old and gray. And some grow mad, and all grow bad, and none a word may say. Each narrow cell in which we dwell is a foul and dark latrine, and the fetid breath of living death chokes up each grated screen. And all but lust is turned to dust in humanity's machine. Though lean hunger and green thirst, like asp with adder fight, we have little care of prison fare, for what chills and kills outright is that every stone one lifts by day becomes one's heart by night. And what he's talking about there is not just sympathy, it is not just empathy, it is not just feeling for others who are suffering. Because we know that the way things are today means that we are no longer on the outside of things watching, we are on the inside, yet we feel like there's nothing we can do. The real pain comes from the deep empathy that we feel for others that seems to be lacking in some people. We know, as witches, to truly understand the world and love the world, to feel its wounds as your own. In his prison cell, Oscar Wilde also wrote, Where there is sorrow, there is holy ground. It's him saying that pain is the pathway through which the soul becomes enlightened, it rises, it opens. So when you're feeling this heaviness, when it comes on you like a cloud, when your heart becomes heavy like a rock, sit with it. Before his time in prison, Oscar Wilde saw the gutter and beauty as opposites. After his imprisonment, his tone and his writing reflects that beauty and sorrow and the gutter, they're all the same place, just seen and revealed with different eyes. The thing with witches is that we are so tuned into the world and ourselves that we don't just see suffering, we absorb its frequency. That's the shadow side of witchcraft. Witchcraft, folk magic, has never been about just like rainbows and sunshine. That pain and that heaviness we're feeling is the shadow side of our intuition. And the truth is that ancient witches were never just healers. They were also mourners. They're the ones who have been brave enough to witness horrible things happening when others looked away. Also the ones who speak up when others don't. Because when children go hungry and the poor are being mocked and people dehumanize them to justify their cruelty, we can feel that rupture in the collective spirit. We can feel that energy. On the surface, it's political, but at its core, that is energetic. And Oscar Wilde's poetry reminds us that when we feel it, that's not a curse. It's just how a soul who has not yet been so corrupted functions. If you're feeling that heaviness, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. There may not be anything wrong with your life. It just means you're tuned in to the energy of the moment. Now, to Oscar Wilde, it was something to be feared. He was afraid of it. He called it a fearful thing. I honestly think for us witches, it's something sacred, something we're not afraid to confront, and it is not something we are afraid to sit with. I hope that helps.